and we have to start with the quote that has gone viral, and it has Cowboy fans beside themselves. This is an article done in the Wall Street Journal on Jerry Jones and his fortune and his net worth and all that stuff. And he is apparently on the phone with someone, and here's what he said, quote, and this has been verified as an actual real quote. There's $100 billion present value with gas out there. That's why I'm talking to you on the telephone rather than trying to fix our defense with the Dallas Cowboys. There's $100 billion present value with gas. That's why I'm doing this interview rather than trying to fix our defense. And Cowboy fans are doing backflips with rage.
They are.
Again.
And listen, this is a problem, and it's a crossroads that I'm sure Jerry is not the only one that does as an owner of a football team or a baseball team or an NBA team.
Right.
Like, these guys don't have a single mode of income. Now, some do. Like, if it's one of these grandfathered in, Mark Davis, right? Hal Steinbrenner. That's their job. That's all they have.
They're businessmen.
They don't have. Yeah, the rest of these guys are businessmen.
George is on the phone with the Legacy or whatever hospitality group.
Sure, right, and they just played Denver, so that's the Walmart era. They've got Walmart stuff to deal with.
Yep.
If a vendor's needs whatever, they got something. They have other jobs. The difference is that a lot of these teams have these things. What are they called? GMs that do those jobs. Now, Jerry obviously would say, "We have a GM. We have a guy that does that. It's Will McClay. I run the operation the same way all 31 other teams do. It all has to go through me anyway." So that's his out. That's what he's always said. But it's a bad look when, you could have done the interview, not said that. Nobody would have thought anything of it.
And I was set to be RJ Choppy, Better Call Saul, and defend Jerry. I had a defense for this. Mm-hmm. If the Wall Street Journal was sitting in Jerry's office and he was on the phone with someone, like, negotiating.
Yeah.
Like, if I'm trying to recruit someone and I'm on the phone and I'm like, my kid's in the other room sick and I'm on the phone with you. That's how important this is. Or I'm missing my kid's recital right now, but I'm on the phone with you. I thought Jerry was on the phone with someone negotiating, saying, hey, there's $100 billion in oil. Like, let's get this deal done. I should be fixing the Cowboys defense, like a leverage thing, like a negotiating thing. But I think he said this to the interviewer. I think he said this like, I'm doing this interview with this publication rather than fixing the Cowboys defense. Just, Bobby.
Yeah, I'm guessing. I'm trying to think what would have been the thought process here of just like, oh, this is what I'll say. So first off, I imagine it's one of those things he said that he loves to tag with, I'm smiling when I say this. Where it's like, I'm being cute here. Where I'm clearly talking about, I get phone calls all the time to do interviews about the Cowboys. I'm getting a phone call to talk about this because this is a big deal. So he's like trying to make a joke about it. And I think that he probably just thought he was, A, I don't know if he thought they would use that quote within the interview. Two, or B, I don't know if he probably thought, even if he thought they'd use the quote in the interview, he thought this is the interview this is an interview with a business audience. It's not the same audience.
Different audience. Right?
Like I'm talking to somebody different and I'm just speaking to them and I'm trying to speak their language or whatever. I think that it's just I don't think he had any idea that it would get circulated like this. And that's not usually like him to not have an awareness of that, but it's a bad look. There's no doubt about it. He'll get asked about it on Friday, I'm sure.
What will be his answer to KNC tomorrow at 10:30?
He'll say nothing that I would have done at the time would have fixed the defense. Or, you know what I mean? Like
He'll say, do you not think when you interview me every week with 10 questions about the trade deadline, does it not sound like I know what is going on? Have I not answered all of your questions?
Right.
Every single week, twice a week.
I got to get this $100 million to pay to get the defense. That's what I got. I'm on the phone working those phones because I need money to fix the defense, guys. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah, like, doing an interview, every GM or owner would does interviews at some point. I mean, when he's on with us, he's on the station twice a week. Like, when he's on the station, does that mean that he can't also make deals at the same time? He can't do it obviously during that 10, 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah.
This
just makes it look like a priority thing.
Yeah.
That's what pisses fans off.
Sure.
Where it's like, hey, it's more important for me to be talking about this oil deal than fixing our god-awful defense. That's the way it looks.
And I would say, and I would bet you, since it's $100 billion, then it is more important to Jerry.
I think you're getting a little too, RJ, technical with it. Like, there's $100 billion present value with gas out there. Like, the industry's booming.
Sure. Right. Yeah, whatever the number is.
And fine. Fine. Maybe it is more important. That doesn't excuse it to Cowboy fans.
No, it doesn't.
That doesn't mean to the fan base. That doesn't mean a lick.
No, they have a right to be upset about it. Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, he's being very flippant about something that he tells us he cares deeply about all the time. Is that he's told everybody that there's nothing more important to him basically than the Dallas Cowboys. He said that routinely.
Yeah.
And then it's almost like
right.
It feels like to fans like we caught you on a hot mic saying you don't care.
Yep.
Even though he said it on the record, it feels to them like busted. You said something you didn't think we'd hear. We heard what you really think, and this is what we've told you.
Yeah.
And that's where Jerry is screwing up even saying this, is because it's like, there's enough scrutiny about how much do you actually care about fixing this. And when you say that, all right, well, that's just silly. You shouldn't have done that. That's a bad look.
877-881-1053. How ticked off are the Tolos on the Franklin Franco injury attorney text line?
They're ticked off on the YouTube I see right now. Here's the thing. One of the comments on here, Mitchell Atkins says he knew it would go around and Cowboys fans would hear it. It's 2025, man. I guarantee you, Jerry did not Jerry wants publicity. Jerry does not want people to think he doesn't care about it. Definitely don't think he thought, I want this to get around it. There's zero chance he said, I want this to get around to Cowboys fans. This said
he doesn't.
No chance he said that.
But how could he be that unaware when anything he does gets magnified times
because
10?
I think he believes he's. There was
when he sat down with A-Rod.
Yeah, there's a 45-minute sit down that I don't know if any fans heard about. It was a business talk, so nobody pays attention to. I think he thought he was talking to a completely different subsection of people, and they're like, oh, these people don't talk to each other. This will get over there.
There's a certain age demographic that knows but doesn't know that the internet is global. That will they hear this in Seattle?
Yeah.
Will they hear this? Yeah, it's on the internet, man.
Well, other teams are monitoring the trade market and trying to improve. The Eagles and Jets pulled off a deal for cornerback Michael Carter II, with John Mechie heading to the Jets in the deal as well. So Philly gets Michael Carter and a 7th. The Jets get the receiver and a 6th. Michael Carter, Bobby, who is he? And should this have been of interest?
He's a nickel corner that Dallas, we had mentioned as one of the options potentially earlier in the season because we were just looking at the Jets as a team that could sell. But when you talk about Carter and a 7th going for Mechie, who's been a disappointment with Mechie and a 6th, what you're basically telling me is Michael Carter, who's had some struggles, not been great, but a starting nickel corner in the NFL and somebody who had a good year last year on a good Jets defense. What you're telling me is that corner market is cheap right now. And this is we talked about L'Jarius Sneed, who was a top corner in the NFL when he got traded to the Titans recently. He went for a 3rd-round pick. So if you want to improve the secondary, if you want to get better at corner, it doesn't look like it's going to cost you too much money. Especially Roger McCreary the other day went for a 6th. He's a decent player. This corner market is shaping up right now for one of two things. One, if you're wanting to trade Diggs for anything, it's not good for that. But 2, if you're wanting to potentially add to your corner room, it doesn't look like it's going to break the bank to do it if you want to do it.
Meanwhile, compare this to what Micah got. Aiden Hutchinson got his deal in Detroit. 4 for $180, including $141 guaranteed. He only trails Micah amongst non-quarterbacks in the NFL now in terms of salary. Micah, 46.5. Hutchinson, 45. But, of course, you got to win some part of this to be number one.
That's amazing.
So his guarantee is the highest among non-quarterbacks.
Yeah. Look, I mean, a little bit surprised after last year's injury that he has played as well as he has.
6 sacks, 29 quarterback pressures, ranked second in the league, only behind Micah. 4 forced fumbles are tied with Joey Bosa for the league lead.
He's a menace. He doesn't stop. Scouts love to talk about motor. He's got one. Very high motor guy.
He's the scrappy white boy, but with the talent.
I know, he really is.
So his salary, he's going to come away from this, and it's going to get reported it's the most guaranteed outside of quarterbacks. It's the most guaranteed in the NFL. Practically, it's not. So at signing, he got guaranteed $56 million is all. So, a third of it basically is guaranteed when he signs. Mike had 123 of it that was guaranteed at signing. Wow. The 136 that Mike has guaranteed is all the offseason before it's due. So it's really hard to get out of. You got to guarantee it a year before. The last $7 million of Hutchinson's deal apparently guarantees the same year, which means they can cut him. So in practical guarantees and reality and how easy it is to get away from it, it's still under Micah. So it's a little bit of fluff, but it's a big deal.
So the other day, Choppy, you took Myles Garrett's 5 sacks and used that as evidence for the Cowboys and their possible trades.
Yeah, all right, so Myles had the 5-sack game, okay? It was against New England. And this is a massive game. That is one of the best individual defensive performances you're ever going to see. When was the last 5-sack game? I couldn't tell you. Could not tell you. And look, and I get it. He's limited. He's a defensive player. He can only do so much. But in a 5, and this is why I don't subscribe to the, hey, we're one player away on defense. And I know that nobody really says this team is one player away, but I don't think one player is going to do a damn thing for this team. He had 5 sacks. They still allowed 32 points. They still lost by 19. You are so limited on what your impact can be. This is why individual defensive players don't shift the Vegas betting line.
Your eyes just fluttered.
Yeah, because a running back goes for 150 yards, and you're like, they still lost, and it's this is why a single. It's also a running back. Edge rusher can make an impact, but if you're talking about a single defensive player, depending on where they're at the field or depending on what you're really struggling with, can absolutely flip it.
They can help for sure, but I'm saying, you have 5. This is one of the great games of all the quarterback. I think we're looking at 20% of his dropbacks. That's basically what Drake May did. 20% of his dropbacks, he was sacked by one player, and they still allowed.
You don't
32.
think Surtain flips Dallas's defense immediately in terms of really jumps it up? Because then it's Bland, Stewart, and Surtain. You don't have a weak link at corner.
I think a high level corner could help. Absolutely. So, I don't think it flips it. No, I don't think that makes.
I think they immediately shoot up to midway, mid pack in the NFL. Because the only thing you can do then is run on them, and they can play man to man all the time.
It's also kind of unfair.
It's definitely unfair
because. Well, if it's definitely unfair, then we need to factor it in. The Browns, right? If they won 37-34 and Myles got the 5th sack, it's a whole different narrative. Their offense just didn't score in New England. They have had the number 1 defense in the league. If their offense scores a little bit more and they're over 500, maybe we are talking about the individual impact, but that is the book on DNs right now from many people.